In September of 2025, a strange story began to unfold, starting with an amateur astronomer in the quiet deserts of New Mexico. His fascination was a newly discovered interstellar object, designated 3IATLAS. Every clear night, he was glued to his telescope, meticulously tracking its path, capturing detailed photographs, and logging its every move. He was completely obsessed. Then, on October 10th, he abruptly stopped. His wife, noticing the sudden change, asked him why he'd given up his nightly ritual. He looked at her, his expression grim. "I've seen enough," he said, his voice flat. That very night, he began dismantling his prized telescope, piece by piece. When she pressed him, asking what he could have possibly seen to cause this, he finally broke his silence. "There are things on it," he whispered, a tremor in his voice. "Structures and they move. I saw them building." 2 days later, he gathered all his notebooks, every observation log, every photograph, and burned them in a small bonfire in his backyard. The fruits of his passion turned to ash. "They know I saw," he confessed to his wife, his eyes wide with a fear she had never seen before. "Whoever sent it, they know." He never touched a telescope again. His story, though strange, was not unique. It was the first ripple in a wave of similar accounts that began to surface from amateur astronomers all around the globe. In Canada, another observer reported seeing geometric shadows that moved with unnatural purpose across the surface of Atlas. In Australia, a different astronomer claimed to witness something detaching and then maneuvering on its own. From Japan came reports of lights pulsing in non-random, intelligent patterns. The pattern was always the same. Each person who observed these anomalies would, within a matter of days, cease all observation. They would pack away their equipment, delete their data, and adamantly refuse to discuss their experiences in any detail. A quiet, collective fear was spreading through the community of skywatchers. Intrigued by this growing phenomenon, a skeptical she managed to track down 17 individuals who had made these claims online before going silent. After much persuasion, only 2 agreed to speak with her, and only under the condition of absolute anonymity. The first source told her, "I watched it for 6 weeks straight. It started subtly, but I began to feel ... What's like I wasn't the only one doing the observing. Then one night, it happened. My telescope, a heavy, fully motorized rig, moved on its own. Not a glitch, not a software error. It felt like it was being adjusted from the other end, from across the vastness of space." The second source's story was even more chilling. "I saw a definite structure," he said, his voice barely a whisper over the phone. "It looked like a tower, and it had a massive lens on top, and that lens was pointed directly at Earth. When I pushed my magnification to the limit, I saw ... I swear it. 2 days after I saw that, there was a knock on my door. It was a man I'd never seen before, in a plain suit. Knew my name? He knew I'd been watching Atlas. He just asked me, 'What did you see?' I lied, said nothing. He just nodded and said, 'Good. Keep it that way. Some things look back when you look at them.' Then he left. I never saw him again." The researcher found a chilling consistency in these accounts. Every single person who observed Atlas closely enough to see detail developed an inescapable feeling of being watched, and every person who claimed to see actual structures stopped observing within a week. Driven by a need to see for herself, the researcher borrowed a powerful telescope in November, after Atlas had emerged from behind the sun and was once again visible in the night sky. She found it, and she saw it. A structure, geometric, unnatural, and undeniably artificial. Her heart pounded as she quickly attached her camera to photograph the evidence, but when she checked the image, it was corrupted. A band of digital static and noise ran across the precise location where the structure had been. Everything else in the frame was crystal clear. She tried again, focusing carefully. The same result. A perfect image of Atlas, with a targeted block of corruption hiding the anomaly. She reached out to the wider community, and others confirmed her findings. Photographs of Atlas were being selectively corrupted. Only the images zoomed in on specific areas of interest were affected. One astronomer decided to run a controlled experiment. He took 30 photos in quick succession. 15 were wide-angle shots of the object. The other 15 were zoomed in on the reported locations of the structures. Every single wide-angle shot came out perfectly. Every single zoomed-in shot was corrupted. When analyzed, the static in the corrupted sections wasn't random. It contained patterns, repeating geometric shapes. It looked less like a glitch and more like a warning. The story took its darkest turn on December 20th. An astronomer in Oregon, known for his level-headed contributions, posted a frantic message on a private forum. It read, "Tonight was different. When I looked through my telescope, something looked back. I saw an eye. Not human. It was huge, biological, and it was staring right back at me through 200 million miles of space. I didn't just see it, I felt it. A voice, a thought that wasn't mine, echoed in my head. It said, 'We see you too.' I'm never looking at the sky again." Shortly after being posted, the message was deleted. The astronomer's account went dormant. He vanished from the online world, but his post had been seen. Others, brave or foolish, tried to replicate his experience. Most just felt that same unnerving sensation of being watched. But a few saw it too. The eye. Looking back, the phenomenon was given a name: the gaze. A chilling piece of advice began to circulate among the few who still dared to look. Don't look at Atlas for more than a minute. Don't look directly at the structures. If you looked too long, it looks back, and once it sees you, it doesn't look away. The people who looked too long, the ones who saw the structures, the ones who met the gaze, have all stopped now. Their telescopes are packed away in dusty attics, their hard drives wiped clean. They try to live normal lives, but they say they still feel it sometimes. Late at night in a quiet room, they get the unshakable sensation of being watched, the heavy weight of an impossibly distant attention, and take note with a certainty that chills them to their core that it's still out there, still watching them back and waiting. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think is on 3IA? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more strange tales from the universe. Stay curious and stay safe.